let me just plug in the microphone. Okay, get all this straight. Okay, now we're plugged in. Let's see if we get registered on the thing. Nope. That doesn't seem right. Okay, there we go. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. Welcome back to our channel. I'm sorry. I just want to apologize that I didn't broadcast on Friday night. We were just exhausted. We went to get trees. This is something I've been waiting for really almost for like 2 years to buy some trees. I've been chomping at the bit. We finally got a little extra money together. Our cushion was quickly evaporated. Our little cash pile. Good evening, Sharon, the party queen, and go time, man. What's up, Benjamin? Good to see you guys. So we finally got it together. We bought 6 fruit trees from a very amazing person who lives nearby and also lives off grid and is very understanding of us and very sweet. I learn a lot from his name is Doug, and it's M&D Trees. If you're in the area, he lives and works off of what's that street, off of like the where Petro near Kingman. What branch? Blake Branch Road. Blake Ranch Road. But anyway, so we saddled up with a bunch of fruit trees, and by the time I got home, I was just too tired to broadcast. So we found ourselves going to sleep early, which is really not like us. And then I found out, weird of weirdness, that I slept through the night. What type of fruit trees? So we got a cherry tree. Everything was specialized. I mean, he had like 6. What one that was from the 1700s? Oh, the cherry tree. Oh, the apple tree. Right. We got an apple tree that's like an heirloom from the 1700s. We got a cherry tree, 2 apple trees. I got one Macintosh because I just love Macintosh apples, and an heirloom uh, ch- fruit tree from the 1700s. We got a spectacular peach tree and a nectarine tree. Apparently, they can cross pollinate together. And what was the last one? A plum and a plum tree. So the plum tree and the cherry tree are going down to my other garden, and I see my patches overnight. I didn't interrupt my doses. That's cool. Yeah, I also wanted to mention, and I'll go into more of this, but I want to apologize for not broadcasting last night. But we just fell asleep. We came home, we fell asleep, but we brought home 6 fruit trees, and we're very excited. I've been preparing a garden space. Let me show you. Let me see if I can show you this since you asked. Let's see. No, I didn't get the picture. Okay, I didn't get a picture. That's a picture of the rocks leading up to the throne room and the view, but that's really not what I wanted to show. Anyway, I neglected, but I've been working on this. Remember, I've been talking about it for at least a year. We take the gray water from the sink and the not the toilet, the sink and the bathtub, the shower, and I dug this trench. It took me like months to dig it, and then I filled it in with cactus remains and all kinds of mulch that I got at Home Depot, and then some topsoil. And it's been an ongoing project. But there's a pipe that runs underneath the garden, and that's where I'm going to plant 4 of the trees: 2 apple, the nectarine and the peach, and then the cherry and the plum are going to go into the garden down below in our valley, in our canyon. I mean, Yes, I own a piece of a I own a mile of canyon, basically. So, a mile long of wash. Actually, I should have. Doug, the tree man, suggested that I get some dirt from the wash as well and put some of that in there too, because that's also supposed to be very good. But we up here, the cows have favorite spots where they go to the bathroom, and you can put your your shovel in there, and it's deep with like rich topsoil. It's so exciting to live here, because everything fits together. Like if you dig something here, you put it over the and you take some dirt out of here and you end up putting it over there, and everything fits in together. It's so nice. And I was going to do I did produce a short video on X, but I wanted to say that 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 my gardening style is not necessarily like, so, like the right gardening style. Or it's not. So what is my gardening style? I basically, and there was somebody on the channel who said that he does the same thing. I basically throw seeds in the ground, and whatever grows, it grows. And whenever I get there, I harvest it. It's just like, it's kind of a Johnny Appleseed sort of gardening style. I don't make neat rows. I will be planting the trees, like at least 8 to 10 feet apart. So that part I will, and then I'll be using the space underneath the trees for vegetables to make. I've already put, whatever comes up. Like I said, I fling all kinds of seeds in the soil, and I'm not worried. But I think the reason I thought that was an interesting thing is that I find I like to lead my life like that. In other words, I don't have to plan. I don't have to think. I just basically it's time to do something. I go outside and I do stuff. I'll be working on 4 or 5 projects at a time. I'm not like, like unidirected, like, okay, let's go finish the whatever. We're building a house, we're finishing the let's see if I can get a picture. The well house is getting I think I have a picture of that. Uh, yeah, the well house is in a state of we're getting more finished, but I'm digging a trench to put the pipe from the well pump into the tank. This is the kind of stuff. We're also doing this sort of ongoing remodeling and our modeling of our bathroom, which is being laid in with, I'm sorry, with big flat stones that we collected throughout the year. So that's kind of a project. We're using this, and I'm not leveling it. I kind of want steps up. We This part of the in front of the toilet is 7 inches higher than grade, than where the toilet is. That apparently, according to Daniela, is gives your body the perfect pitch to produce the waste products that come out of our body. Let's see if I can get off here. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We're doing all this at once, but the idea is that I don't know if this works for everyone, but I'm just saying that don't I don't plan. I don't follow any plans. I'm now considering putting a second floor on this building. We weren't going to do that on this building, but I got up on top of the RV and I looked out and I said, "Man, this view is colossal." So I want to have my video studio on the second floor. That's the intent. So in the back, in the stern of our Earthship, we'll be putting a second floor, which will give us like views that are amazing. But this is the idea of like living a creative life. And everything in our I know where I'm going with this. Everything in our life is very, it's like you live in a square box. You got you got your couch, you got your TV. We don't necessarily have that. we have like an ongoing project that will probably go on forever. I mean, let's say I do well with the fruit trees and I really like the fruit trees and I have extra fruit. The next thing I'm going to buy is a bunch of nut trees and more. I mean, I have 170 acres, so I don't know where this is all going. I was thinking a few weeks ago, let's get some cattle, let's get some, but that they didn't really seem to go anywhere. But the tree idea is very much in line with I've been growing trees for, like when I lived in Brooklyn 30 years ago, I planted all these trees and I learned quickly that it's not, it seems like a great thing to just put all these trees in, but they get big really fast and then they're like crowded. So I'm respecting my friend Doug, just this wonderful guy, man. It just I called Doug the other day and I said, I've been talking to Danielle a lot about you, and I've decided when I grow up, I want to be Doug. he said, not really. He put it off, but just the idea of living. He lives with trees and these Andalusian shepherds that are just the most stately dog I've ever seen. I mean, it's amazing how just seen a lot of dogs lately that I would like to own, but I'm not quite there yet. Anyway, that's just that. I also want to add to this that I'm now using the Eon patches. Dr. Stacy calls this the happy patch. And I've been blissed out all day from this Eon. It's just like, because it deals with inflammation. Let me just put on the contact information. We'll do this quickly, but it deals with inflammation, both mental inflammation and physical inflammation. So not only was I not feeling any pain today, we did a lot of heavy lifting today. We did a lot of digging and wheelbarrowing. I have two active wheelbarrows now. I got a new wheel for my other one that was broken. But the Eon patch not only removes all the pain, basically all the pain that the X39 and the X49 didn't eliminate. I was feeling a little bit of pain in my back. Now I don't even feel that. But it also removes the inflammation, mental inflammation, which is really the problem that we all have. We're all in this fear space. Brian Best, Spiritual Bean Coffee, the best coffee. So I learned by accident last night. I was going to broadcast, and what did I learn? I learned, hey, and this would be obvious to a normal person. But if you drink coffee, because I always drink coffee before a video, so I'm going to try to do it earlier, the videos earlier. If you drink coffee, you're going to wake up in the middle of the night like,
And pee a lot too.
And what?
Pee a lot at night.
And eat a lot, yeah. Heat.
Pee.
Oh yeah, and pee a lot, right? And pee, yeah, if you drink coffee, you're going to pee, and you're going to. Danielle won't let me get away with anything. I want to make one more mention before I go into the information stream, which I think is really interesting, and I haven't read your comments. Yeah, so the types of fruit trees are, two apple trees, one heirloom, a nectarine, a peach, a cherry, and a plum. That's what we're starting with. I also have a pomegranate and a fig tree already planted, and an Arizona ash for shade. But this is the beginning of, maybe this is why I have all this properties to grow a bunch of trees. I don't know, but I'm very wanting to put in a bunch of pistachio, and there's apparently a red walnut that he spoke of that sounds very interesting. So there's a lot of possibilities. So the point of it is that we are we are given all this stuff of how to live. You live in a square box, you sit on a couch, you do this, you do that, you buy this, you eat this, you drink this. I'm questioning everything. I want to do things that resonate with me, not with what seems to be the regular thing. And now I'm going to quickly move into an area just to introduce a new topic, and then I'm going to go to some incredible posts on the thought stream. But here's the idea. Here's an idea. I had a daughter about 30 years ago who passed away. She passed away. She was about 5 years old. And she was severely challenged. She, they called her mentally retarded. She couldn't eat through her mouth. She was blind. She couldn't move really. I mean, she could move around in the bed. She basically couldn't. She could sit in a wheelchair if she was strapped down right, but she was severely limited. And she was the happiest person, and she was like on such a high soul level that everyone that saw Molly just was changed forever. And I got to spend I think like 4 years with Molly. I left eventually because for various reasons, and then she passed away shortly after. But it was just like, wow, man, I got all these problems, and Molly is just like, when she laughed, which was a lot of the time, it was a laugh like that came from so deep inside, you just couldn't. It just melted your heart. That here was this person like feeding through her, blind. She couldn't speak the way. I mean, she could make sounds. She was she loved music, by the way, but she would cry when her music stopped. But being around Molly affected me deeply. Years later, I ended up seeking refuge in the Department of Education after they came at me continually with everything they could to get me out of the system. I eventually became a special needs teacher, thinking that there they won't attack me. They still attack me. They were even worse in special needs. Because in special needs at that time, they were saying, everybody has to be equal. So these kids have to learn math and English, and the people who were like longtime parents were like, if they could learn to go to the bathroom by themselves, that's going to be more important to them than any math or English. I mean, it was just insane. But being around all these various autistic and other, I was around severely challenged students. I wanted that. Because I loved them, because they were like Molly. They were just like, they were just, I mean, they had severe physical limitations, a lot of them, and mental limitations. And yet they were so attentive and alert to messages that weren't intellectual messages, but they were feeling beings, and I think on a very high level. So I want to say that one of the things that I've noticed, and I just thought about this today, that in our society, these people with special needs are separate. They go to separate schools, they have separate classes, and that's not normal. Why? Why is it not normal? Because we can learn so much from them. They're our teachers. Why do you want to remove the wisest people? That's because our civilization is so slanted against the humanity, against humaneness, against understanding, against this diversity. Diversity. I mean, but it's not real diversity. They don't really. This is just a power grab by these creepazoid parasites. But okay, so with that said, I just wanted to introduce that idea because, like, Daniela is really producing her own videos now, and she feels so empowered after taking the patches and everything she does with her diet. She's very, very strict about diet. She goes nuts if I even go near a plastic fork or or put something in a plastic. She would never drink water out of a plastic bottle ever. And if I did it, she would also freak out. Just the idea that we want to be, we want to be, well, it have to be this and it has to be that, and your life has to, it's like, it's just total nonsense. Anyway, so that I wanted to throw that out, but now I want to, let's just go, Golden Arrow. Oh, that's Ian saying hello to Golden Arrow. They're unconditional. Yeah, they're unconditional. The love is unconditional. They love everyone and everything. They're in a state of total bliss and love. That's really the truth. Thanks, Beth. I don't know if you're related to the Huber, Levi Huber in Crown Heights. Saved my career once. He's just one of my favorite people. Totally off the wall dude, but the first time they really attacked me in the Department of Education, he came in. He said, "I'll be there." He came down and he started telling this administrator who was basically trying to fire me how how everything that we were going to do to him and why it was not a good, it's just like, and his presence, he didn't really have a real legal standing. He just went in and just said, "You're not doing this." And the guy was scared into not, I kept my job. Anyway, that's another story. I think I've told that story, but I will repeat that story someday because it ended up a very, very interesting career, very colorful in my own way. Anyways, okay, so let me go to a couple of these things. Unconditional love, man. From I had this with David, and I davened, I prayed next to a young man named David, and David had issues. He was so beautiful. He was so loving. Everybody that came into shul, he ran up to them. He says, "What's your name? I'm so happy to see you." And everyone was like, "Oh, he's so weird." I'm like, "That's weird? Why is that weird? You all should be doing that. You know, they're so normal." Special needs. It's the normal people that have real issues, so-called normal. Anyway, if you want to get this, the Eon patch removes inflammation, call Dr. Stacy or just sign up under me or Daniela or Grant or Norman or oh gosh, what who am I thinking of? Okay, there's another woman that I love who's part of our team. Join our team, join our business. It's a great business. You're sharing things. It's not easy, but it's a great business. You're sharing products that are cutting edge that could change people's lives. So I'm digging it, man. So like I said in the last video, it kind of chose me. I was open. I said, YouTube, man, you want to take me back? You want me? Can I make a living? X, I said, I'll monetize on X. No, nothing. I'm still monetized on Rumble, but it's not really enough. It's steady, but it's not nothing. It won't pay the grocery bills by any means. Is once a month I get, whatever. I'm just saying I'm not in it for the money, obviously, but I need to make a living. So the divine, by just surrendering, and that's what I'm saying about life, my lifestyle, is that we just surrender to our intent, to our general flow of our purpose. Like our purpose, Danielle and I, is to love each other, is to just constantly remind each other that, and we have issues. We go into little spits and spats, but after we yell at each other, we give each other a hug, because she's pure love, and I'm learning from her how to be that way. But I'm not complaining, man. It's just, it's so simple that it's hard, and that's what I'm saying. So let me get to these clips. Okay, first of all, I want you to show you Roseanne, because this is beautiful. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, this is a classic clip from Roseanne.
Your stuff is,
Let me go back. It's not.
This is the greatest time that's ever been. Now, don't you let them scare you and thinking that your stuff is, they're going to take nothing away from you or hurt you or you're losing. That is not what's happening. What is happening is that intelligence is manifesting itself in this realm, and intelligence brings truth. There's no other kind of intelligence. Fake intelligence brings lies, but it's not intelligence. Intelligence only produces truth. And that's the times that we're living in right now. No matter what anybody's telling you, try to scare you, keep you in fear, keep you angry, full of hate, self-righteous, especially self-righteous, because there's a lot of that going around. If you know what's really going on, you would be so happy and peaceful. And because things are working the way they're supposed to work.
Okay, that is just so beautiful, in my opinion. That things are just working the way they're supposed to. That real intelligence brings truth. Fake intelligence, like we've been living under this umbrella of idiocy. We got to live in a little square house. I'm like, why should the floor in the bathroom be perfectly level? Why not have little steps to the throne? Why not, with beautiful rocks that I got for free? That, the hardest part of these rocks is getting them up here. But once you get them up here, I now have a hand truck and two wheelbarrows. So I'm doing pretty good, I mean, so I just move these big rocks around, and then later I'll put them in the right place so they don't rock around. But life is so beautiful right now. Okay, so there's another point that goes hand in hand with this idea. A heads up on your trees. The wind will blow your flowers from trees to protect them from wind. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. I will protect. I do plan on protecting them from the wind. They're actually already in a little gully, but I will put something. I'm going to have to put something around them anyway, because otherwise the creatures will take them away. But I experimented down the way with a little greenhouse structure, and I put a kind of a wire around it. I think they call it something wire, uh, gardening wire or something, and it keeps the critters out, except for the black beetles. Those I had to dump a bunch of wood ash to get rid of them. But yeah, I know. It is the wind, especially up here. Now, my friend Doug doesn't have. I don't think he has the same wind issues because he's in a little bit of a flat space, but he's at a higher elevation. So it's all good. Okay, so yeah, unconditional. Absolutely, that's a great way to put it. Okay, so let me go now. This is a totally related. What happened? I want the chat. Okay, but I don't need. You guys you copied that. Just call Dr. Stacy, or I invite you to call Dr. Stacy and tell her you need some Eon patch because you're sick of worrying, and and you don't want to feel any pain. It doesn't put anything in your body. It's not a supplement. It just reflects your own light back at you. And if you can achieve peace through this, it's a great cheating way, to achieve peace. Okay, so let's go to okay, the captions. Right, I'm going to take this one off for now. Okay, now let's go to the brother post of Roseanne. It's going to seem like it may seem a little bit contradictory, but she's saying everything is fine, man. I mean, Trump is, like there's another video, another show. I'm going to put all this together. There's another thing saying like, why Minnesota? And it's like, they're just using this to wake people up. It's happening everywhere. But we're waking, they're readjusting the consciousness of humanity, which is what it really boils down to. This is what it is. It's not about what happens, or are the Democrats going to win the midterm elections? That's just, first of all, there's no government anyway. It's a bunch of bullshit. They're going to be replaced by the Republic, in my view. and I'm going to talk about that as well, because I'm going to start broadcasting with members of the Republic at the regular times, because I think it's that important. And why is it important? It relates to my next post. Okay, this is amazing, an amazing post. Okay, so we got Roseanne, totally beautiful thought. Med beds. Okay, I don't know if that's realistic. This is the old trees, which you can see the shapes of. We are tearing the evil empire down. Yeah, this is a post I'm going to come to next, but I want to show you something which is pretty short but to the point, and an amazing thought. This is it, from George Patton, General George S. Patton, who a lot of people say is the father of Donald J. Trump. A good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. Delaying for an ideal setup risks losing initiative, allowing the opportunity to slip away, or letting circumstances change unfavorably. That is so powerful in my mind. That is such a powerful statement coming from General Patton. The idea, yeah, well, my daughter, you don't have to feel sorry for me, my daughter. I mean, I appreciate the thought, but she's alive, man. I mean, she didn't die. She just changed for. She came to me the next day after she passed over. I was walking the streets of Roslyn, New York. She took my hand. She was totally healthy. I mean, I could see her. She was there. She was really there. At least I could see her. And she took my hand. She says, "Dad, I'm fine, man. I don't have to worry about that clunky old body anymore. I'm good to go." So anyway, that's another story. But here's the thing with this statement. Just do it. I'm telling myself, because I need to remember this as well. But let me read this again. Let's see. A good plan violently or poorly executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. Delaying for an ideal setup risks losing initiative, allowing the opportunity to slip away, or letting circumstances change unfavorably. This is such an important thought. And it really deals with the idea of being in the flow, which is what I talked about. It's like, if I was like a good little Matrix boy, I'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna put on my trees, and I'm gonna have my garden right here, and I'm gonna put little rows, and everything's gonna be." No, I'm just like, screw it, man. Just throw the seeds out, man. Let's put the trees in the ground. Do it. I mean, I was going to hold off till I could really afford the trees. Could I really afford it now? Not really. But I bought them anyway. Why? Because now is the time. That's what General Patton is saying. If you're in your own flow, this is just my opinion. This is what I've observed from my own life. If you're in your own flow, everything just comes at you, and you just like, okay, there it is, got it. And then, okay, here, okay, I got that one. Let's see, okay, so let's have some lunch now. Yeah, and yeah. Oh, we Danielle had a delicious lunch. We had a skirt steak and some potatoes cooked on the fire. Yeah, it was all cooked on the fire. Oh yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is. I got it. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got you. Right. Okay. Second floor of my house. Okay. Yeah, I know it's a crazy idea, but it's there. Oh, buy. You sold all your silver. Buy a few pieces of silver. That's the flow. Being in your flow. Don't think. Even the Rebbe said this. My Rebbe, Menachem Mendel Schneerson, or it was some. I'm not sure which Rebbe, but a Rebbe said He saw a guy. He said to himself, I got to give that guy $100. And then he thought to himself, well, maybe not $100, maybe $50, maybe 25 would be more reasonable. That's not being in the flow. Being in the flow is, give him $100. When I get money, when I get cash, I get hundreds to pay. Like I paid a couple of hundreds for the trees, and then I get fives. Why? Because I don't want to give $1 to a veteran who's struggling on the street and has to ask for money. I want to give him a five. Okay, so that's it. So the idea of overthinking, of doubting because we are in constant contact with divine force. Constant. If you ever, like, if any point during the day you want to know, like, you want to check in, you're like, what's going on here? That you will get an answer. I mean, I get answers for that. It's like, just chill, man. Just, take it easy. This is leading to something else. Because what I discussed in a previous video was that, like, I once took a wrong turn and ended up in Great Neck, New York. It was like totally out of my realm. And then a few years later, I ended up living there for a few years. This is the way, we've been taught to look at things like in separate things. Oh yeah, there's the special needs people over there, and here's my house, and here's my car, and it's all separate. No, everything is connected right here through your consciousness. It's all your it's all coming at you, man. And you don't have to be quick. You just have to do what General Patton says, which is fucking do it. I'm just talking to myself. I mean, when I go, it's very easy out here because there's no interference. I don't have any neighbors like suddenly come into my block my driveway and tell me, I'm really upset that you did this, or the garbage man didn't come today, or whatever. I don't have that. I walk outside and I'm like, oh yeah, the wheelbarrow. I got to put the wheel on the wheelbarrow. I just bought a new wheel for my wheelbarrow. Now we have 2 wheelbarrows. So I like, if I had thought about that, the first thing I did this morning was put on that tire on this wheelbarrow that we found. Sky just left his wheelbarrow. This isn't an abandoned property near us. And so we said, let's take the wheelbarrow. I mean, it's old. I mean, look at it. It's old, beat up. It's a great wheelbarrow. I mean, I would have spent a couple $100 in the store getting a new one that was a piece of shit. But when I started my work this morning, the first thing I did was change. Now, if I had thought about it, I would have said, well, don't waste time from that because you need to do this, this, and this. No. Do what General Patton says. It's like, if, I mean, I'm extrapolating a little bit, but I'm basically saying that, like, the divine flow knows what you're supposed to be doing at all times. You don't have to figure it out. It'll be very clear to you. So even though if I was like a thinking man and I've scheduled it and I planned it, I would have gone right to the garden, let's say, or going right to the well house and put the roof on. But no, it was like, hey man, change the tire in your wheelbarrow. And I found myself on my knees changing, putting the new tire on. And, then I got it up and then I said, wow, well, hold on a second. This tire's made in China and it's a little fluffy, it's not blown up enough. So I said, well, let's go get the air pump, my bicycle pump that I wanted to get rid of when I came out here. I was like, I don't need a bicycle pump. I'm never going to have a bicycle again. We lived on bicycles, but for some reason, divine providence said, stick it in the trailer. Now I use it all the time to pump up the tires. So my wagon is useless. It's constantly needing to be pumped up. We were told, just get a wagon, you'll be fine. But the wagon isn't strong enough the tires don't handle the weight of that a wheelbarrow full of dirt has. Anyway, okay, so we got to General Patton. Just do it. I mean, that's what I get from him. Just do it. It may not be. You may not have reasoned it out. You may have thought of all the your pros and cons. With investing, I mean, I basically I just get like, buy some DJT. You know, if I have whatever it is, I've been doing this for years. It comes like as a flash. Just like when I'm building outside, like right now I'm struggling with how do I lift up a 20-foot beam, put it upright, because it's 4 by 10. It's really heavy. So somebody on the channel said, get a block and tackle, like a special pulley system. So I went to the stores and I said, do you have a block and tackle? They don't have it anymore because people don't use like their hands anymore. People have machines to do that sort of thing. We haven't started using machine. Would I love to have a backhoe up here? Yeah. A backhoe would make my life a lot easier. But on the other hand, maybe not, because there's a lot of bedrock up here. It's not like, it's not like you just dig in the soil. Like where Doug lives, you want to dig a hole, you just dig a hole. Up here, you have to hope that you're not going to hit bedrock. If you hit bedrock, you're not going to be digging a hole, at least not easily. Whatever happened to Gila? Gila is doing great. Gila's great. She's just, we realized that our purpose, our life path was going in different directions, and frankly, Daniela just showed up, and she was just like, that's what I'm talking about, divine flow. Daniela showed up, so I thought to myself, well, is this relationship going to work out? Does this have all? No, I didn't do any of that. I just said Daniela showed up. So God wants me to be with Daniela. I can't be alone. I wanted to be with Gila, but it just didn't. She has a life that I'm not. I wanted to go west. And Daniela came, and then suddenly Daniela's like, we got to get out of here. There's too much humidity and too much air pollution. And we said, let's go to Arizona. That's what I'm talking about, living in your own flow. Once you understand who you are and what you're about, I'm just talking about me, but maybe you could learn something from this, maybe not. Maybe for you it's different. I don't know. But for me, once you know what you're about, and once I started becoming a digital warrior, I mean, if I can even say that about myself, I don't know if that's too pompous, but I basically been on this I've been on this crusade for 9 years or something. And can I call myself a true digital warrior? I don't know. I don't know if I fit the bill, but I'm doing the best I can. Given my stuff, I'm doing the best I can. I cannot bear to sit around and go, oh, well, next week I mean, I do it a little bit, but I mean, next week the crypto bill is coming in, and they're going to this Democrat named Fetterman. He's, I mean, I don't see the world with those kinds of details. Just like I don't see my life like I'm going to plant a row of tomato seeds in my garden. I'm not doing it. I take a tomato that's rotten, that fell off the vine, and I throw it into the garden. I dig a little hole and I say, okay, we'll get seeds next year. Because like General Patton says, better a not perfect plan than waiting for it to, because this is how you should, this is how I steer my boat. I'm like, okay, man. Oh, there's a log in the way. Okay, I'm going to go around it. This came. Oh, I just got, $5 from here. Maybe that's going to work out. I do not say no to much things. Some things I just know. I just say, no, I can't do that. But basically I say, yes. Shelby is the one. Shelby is a yes woman. If you want to sign up under Shelby, I totally understand. She is Miss Yes. Shelby, let's see if I can find this. let me just put her information on. These are the people you could sign under. But Shelby, months ago, I said, is there anybody out there that can help me with LifeWave to start a business? I need people that are on my team. I want to develop a downline of people who are very successful. And she wrote me an email. She says, I'll help you. But she wanted to help me with everything. She's like, I'll come and I'll help you build. I'll help you. She was just like totally pure, loving, giving. That's Shelby. I mean, do you anyway? Okay. So yeah. So I just wanted, so yeah, Shelby's thing I think is here. Yeah. If you want to sign up under me, you can sign up under Daniela. You can sign up under Norman. Grant is a beautiful soul, man. Very enthusiastic. I love Grant, and smart. Rosemary, his wife. I mean, whatever. Okay, so that's that. But where does this lead to? Well, wait. Let me take that off. I want to take this off. This leads me to the story of Vinicio. The guy, I've told this story a few times, but I'll say this and then I'll go back to the thought stream because there's something important I want to read. But I've told this story, but Vinicio came to me. I had 10 guys working for me. I was a remodeling contractor in Long Island dealing with vicious rich people, really elites who did not want to pay the final bill in my building projects and knew that I wouldn't threaten their lives. I don't have a dangerous look to me. Whereas other contractors have this like, if you don't pay me, I'm coming after you. People were not afraid of me. So I was always in court. It was very hard for me to collect. But anyway, so Vinicio's cousin, I had 10 guys working for me. I had I was struggling just to pay the labor bill every week. This guy dumped off Vinicio on my job site before I wasn't even around. He just started working. He didn't ask me anything, and and the guys were like, they were calling him Pedro and Juan because he didn't speak English. So what I learned from Vinicio is that having a real intent like Shelby does is more important than being the greatest carpenter that ever lived. Vinicio was just whatever I would ask him to do. I would ask the other carpenters, I say, couldn't this be done? I'd be, fixing some little jewelry box that the customer had. And the guys would be like, no, it can't be done. Vinicio, no problema. He didn't know it was impossible. So those are the people you want working for you, man. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So I got off on a tangent. Let's go back to the thought stream. My grandpa Woodburn also said, waste not, want not. Right. Waste makes haste. A good workman doesn't quarrel with his tools. Exactly right. That's beautiful. Investors are loaded with tons of copper. Are loading with they're doing copper now. I think it's a great investment. Listen, I keep my metals close to me, and I now have enough copper for it to be heavy. So I feel like in the old days when I had a lot of silver. It's not worth the same yet. But anyway, buy low, sell high. Or sell when you have to. Mark Z had a good bank story this morning. Yeah. Gila loves Mark Z. I feel like Mark Z is this whole thing about the RV has never sat right with me, but he's very into it. Trump wanting Greenland leads to Nasara. Yes, I think so, Mark. Good to see you, by the way. I knew of a 107. 107. Good. How have I been? I've been great, man. Real News Head. Are you involved with the Real News broadcast? I've been. I mean, when I get to stay home for the day, there's no problema. Everything is cool. I got to go to town. I get a little bit rattled, but because it's whatever. The longer I'm up here, the less I have to go to town. So, said two bond. And said 2 of his bond people will get the rest of the funds next Tuesday, are expecting. Yeah, but he's been saying that for 5 years. It's like this Sherry person. the Geula Shlema, the complete redemption is coming this week. They've been saying that for 10 fucking years. How many people listen to Mark Z? And he's the sweetest guy I've ever met. He used to come to my channel. He's donated to this channel. He's a sweetheart. I love Mark, but his message is fucked. Because the RV is coming, and then you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to do anything because the RV is going to come and save you. It's not going down that way. Listen to General Patton. Do it. Do stuff. Act. It's all good. We're all heading in a good direction. But the message from Mark Z to me is, it's like, I mean, I have other friends that believe this too. I don't. We've all been waiting for the dinar to be revalued for like 5-10 years. I don't know. How many times do you have to hear it? And when are you going to realize that no one's coming to save you? Because it can't come like that. Because the whole point of this whole exercise is to change your thinking from a slave mentality that, I can't get out of here. It's a jail. I'll never make a living. I'll never make my car payment. For me, it's like, I'll never be able to buy a trailer. I'll never get my wood up here. I had no wood here. We can't wait to be saved. Do like General Patton. It's better to just be, I got it, man. I got it. Okay, I'm working on the second floor. I mean, this came out of nowhere. I wasn't planning to do a second floor. Danielle's like, what happened? I'm like, we're going to do a second floor, baby. We got this. It's simple. But, the tree. Yeah, let's go buy some trees right now. We have an extra couple $100. Let's go get some trees. I'm on the phone with Doug. Was it perfect? Was it planned? Was it up to budget? What was that guy? The guy that had, pay off your bills. It was some guy, was it like in the beginning of my song, The Matrix, one flat tire and the whole thing goes to hell. I mean, I was doing the right thing. I had all my credit cards in long term where they didn't charge you for 2 years, and I was paying them off. I was really paying my credit cards off. And then the more I thought about the whole Q thing, eventually I got to the point where I was like, screw it. Why am I playing good boy with these assholes? This is a criminal organization that's stealing my money, and I'm playing nicey. Like, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was like remember that guy? You remember his name? We save ourselves. Right. You can change your thinking with Sovereign State National. Okay. Yeah. So, right. So that's where I think, the next Tuesday, this is just total. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe it's true, but even if it is true, I don't want it. I don't want my money to come that way. I don't want to be suddenly, oh, Ellie, you're a bondholder. I want to make my own money. I want to buy copper with Wade, and we'll find out that it's worth, went from $100 for 100 ounces to 1,000. I mean, is copper worth any less than silver? Do we not use copper everywhere? Anyway, but yeah, we save ourselves. Why? Dave Ramsey, right. Dave is the opposite of Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Dave Ramsey. I had a friend who was very into Dave Ramsey. I tried to be into Dave Ramsey, but at the end, I was just like, I ain't paying you. I'm out. So, yeah, the Lord will provide. Yeah, exactly right. That's what I think. But I believe I'm like General Patton, a loosely fit plan that is executed when it comes up is better than overthinking something and doing it when it's, when the time has come and gone. Oh. Okay. Live on my SSDI. Right. So do we. We live on Social Security and my pension. And it's not easy. But although now I'm making money with LifeWave, and that's what I want people to do. I want people to, don't give up. Don't say it has to be this way. Somebody asked me recently, would you go back to teaching? I was like, hell no. I just don't want to do it. I did it for a long time. You couldn't pay me enough. I would never, I just, this is my teaching. I'm teaching now. Do I get paid? No. But LifeWave came along. We're getting a little money from that. We have been saying this since Clinton was POTUS. Yeah. We have been saying that, since Clinton. Yeah. It's been, if you live your life with intentions and help your fellow man, that's good. That's basically says it all. All right, so let me go to Don't Worry, Be Happy. Yeah. That Eon patch is very good for that. Okay, so let me just go back. There's one other post that I think is really monumental that I want to share. Let me just see what we have here. Everyone is asking about the auto pen. What was done is totally illegal, and anything signed that way has no further force or effect. The person who worked the auto pen had no idea whether Biden approved it or not. Okay, so this is all legal. And he's been hinting that he's going in that direction. When the truth about child trafficking and the satanic pedos reaches the masses, it's over. Yes, indeed. Let me play this. Let me just play this clip. And then I want to get to a main clip. Just a quick update on our homesteading and where the world is in general. I think if you listen to Roseanne, she said, it's all going to be good. That's the key point. Everything else is just commentary. We're coming into a whole different state of mind, a whole different state of being. And that's really what I want to talk to you all about today. And that is, don't sweat the details so much. I put in all this down floor down here around our RV. We're building all this, right? And then I figured, I saw the view from up here, and I said, man, I want to make a second story. So now we're working on building a second story up here, which I think will give me not only a studio, but a lot of storage space, maybe a place we eventually want to sleep. But this is it. If you know what you're about, if you know what your intentions are, you don't have to go into such detail with worry and planning. And it's really kind of like, if you just allow yourself to be, everything will come to you. Like, for example, I've been waiting for many months to buy some trees. We just finally had enough money to buy a couple of trees. So I'm putting in up here 2 apples, a nectarine, and a really nice peach. But I've been working on this gully here. This takes all my gray water from the RV into the garden. Anyway, it's a work in progress, but the key point that I want to stress is that I don't plan, okay, today I'm going to do X and Y. It's more like, as the day evolves, I find myself doing X and Y, and I may take a break to do a little more X and a little more Y and a little bit of Z. It's all good. If you don't worry so much about every little detail and you allow yourself to be in the flow of creation, you can't go wrong. Talk to you later. I'll be broadcasting early tonight. Yeah, so that was a little video I made. You see my little garden space and all that. But it's listen, I've been working on that gully without knowing, like, I didn't know where it was going. Eventually I'll build some kind of a greenhouse around the fruit trees to protect them from the wind and from the critters. But it's the flow, man. It's just like doing the next thing. You don't have to worry about the big picture. All right, so I want to read this one more clip, and then I'll let you guys be. What is the GSR report? You've been busy. Yeah, we do a lot. The Q posts. Yeah, he will eliminate the IRS? Yeah, absolutely. And also, I want to say, in terms of action, in terms of just doing it, and I'm going to be doing more with the Republic coming up. But in terms of just doing it, man, join the Republic. That's the future. That's where we're heading. It's Jassara. If you want to bring about Jassara Nasara, join the Republic, because the White Hats told people of the Republic, when when everybody is ready to go, we will call for Jassara elections. So if you really want to do something like General Patton, don't worry about, is it the right time? Is it this? Just do it. Join the Republic and live your life. Live your life in the flow. Okay, so that's that. Let me just take that one off. You can get onto that website. Let me show you this last clip, and we'll call it a day. But I will be doing videos with members of the Republic. That's coming up probably next week. Like, when in dealing with the members of the Republic, they were like, well, we should have a meeting, and we should plan to do. I'm like, screw it, man. Let's just get online. Just do it. Like, that's what General Patton was saying. It's like, it's time. People need to know about the Republic. People need to know that the military is waiting for us to wake up to the extent that we all join the Republic, and that there are 50,000 per state. That's not a lot of people. And that all the offices are fulfilled, so we can have an election and elect a real government, which will be 10% of the size it is now, according to Jassara. That's where we're moving. If you want to know where we're going, there's not going to be an IRS. There's none of that. Read Jassara. Read what Jassara says. It's simple. No debt, no, everything will be gold backed, silver backed. It's all good. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. I just want to show this last clip. The Democrats in Minnesota have been caught child trafficking. Yeah, I mean, they're criminals, but they're doing it everywhere. It's just that, and this is the point of this article, is that they're okay. So let me just show, not tell, right? Okay, here we go. Okay, someone is coming to destroy the Matrix. The armor of God. Finally be strong. Wait, let me make sure this is the right post. No, this isn't the post I was thinking of. Wait, let me just, I don't think so. No, that's not the post. The post I want to show is this one. No, not that one either. Let me go back. Let's see. Here it is. Okay, is this it? Let me just check. No. Okay, I'm going to find it. Here it is. Okay. This is the post I wanted to show. We are witnessing today is the largest ethno-cultural upheaval in Europe since the arrival of Yamaniya around 5,000 years ago. No, this is not the post. Okay, I'm getting closer. I got it. Let's see if we can find it. Not Captain Mark Savoy. No, it's not that one. Coinbase, right? It's not that one. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to give up in 1 minute, so don't lose hope. Okay, I think I'm not going to find it. Oh, I know why I didn't find it, because I'm not on my channel. I'm at the general. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Nope. I'm sorry, guys. Wait. Okay, let's see if we can find it. Okay, I thought this was it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, here we go. We are tearing down the evil empire. It unfolded in sequence because a system this old only collapses when the public can track without being overwhelmed. Okay, you guys got that? This system only collapses when the public can track it without being overwhelmed. And the first move was DC federalization because Washington was the enforcement node that protected everything upstream. Once the machinery inside the Capitol lost its ability to shield itself through process, narrative, or institutional delay, the force pillar started to fracture from the inside out. People were not asked to believe anything. They were brought to the point where the pattern could be seen, repeated, compared, and understood in real time. They saw it. That was the opening gate, and it had to come first. Okay, so Washington, the okay, so let me just I'm gonna come back to this, but what they're saying is that let me just say that Washington had to come first. People had to see it. Now people are still believe that it's all about the midterm collections. It's all about the filibuster. It's all about this and that. It's just according to this article, and let's just suspend disbelief for a moment. According to this article, it's done. There is no federal government. In reality, it's still a movie, and people are still they have to be. But the game of this thing is for us to understand what's really going on. That's what this is all about, and that's why joining the Republic is so important. Okay, let's go back. Okay, now, then the map widened through Southcom because the domestic picture was always nestled inside an international corridor. Venezuela surfaced as a strategic lane. Cuba and Mexico locked in as control gates when narco terror, logistics, laundering rails, and proxy influence converge. And Iran played its assigned role as the Israeli boogeyman template, keeping attention anchored in managed conflict while sovereignty, pressure, and containment moved underneath the surface. Sovereignty moved underneath the surface. That's the real game plan here. The public watched the theater while the structure shifted. And as that structure shifted, the regional board began compressing towards resolution mechanics rather than infinite escalation loops. The illusion of permanent leverage started dissolving. The deep state was dissolving, the endless wars, and people started to see that we are really moving towards something. Now the end game is visible because the moves look like territory capture and corridor control. Greenland is positioning. Venezuela is positioning. And Iran sovereignty isolation is tightening the perimeter that once kept Israel as a perpetual center of gravity for global attention. The Minnesota template continues scaling as the proof layer because fraud had to be understood at street level before the upstream architecture could be confronted without denial. This is how the unholy Trinity pyramid gets dismantled in order. DC breaks the force pillar. The Vatican takedown unlocks the faith pillar through the new American Pope and the recoded moral authority channel. And the remaining crown becomes finance. The final push is the City of London, because once the banking capstone breaks, the pyramid stops functioning as a control system and becomes nothing more than exposed geometry. Okay, this is on my channel if you want to read this. This comes from Observing Consciousness. Very interesting post. So right now it has to be in Minnesota. People are seeing Minnesota. Could they be showing this in all 50 states? Probably. But this is a kind of a movie. I'm just, hold this thought for me a minute. They are dismantling the deep state before our eyes, but it has to be understood by us. Right? So the first crack, the force, the military was Washington. Then the Vatican comes down. That was the religious things. Now, what you're seeing with Iran, where the people of Iran are saying, we don't want Islam. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I never expected that. I never expected that Iranian. I mean, this is straight out of the movie V for Vendetta. In Nepal, in Italy, in all over the world, in America, even in America. I mean, it's all happening. But it's being done in a strategic, controlled demolition. Your house is looking good. I think so too, man. I mean, it may not look like any other house in the world, but that's fine with me. I don't want to look like, I don't want it to look like a prefab house. It had to be this way, as Q was saying. Right. It had to be this way. They had to show the people. They had to take the people through this. Right now, we're in the moment of the fear moments, right? The scare event. For us, it's not so scary because we've been looking at this for years. But it has to be this way. People, you can start a conversation with somebody and they're not going to say, "Oh, you're one of those conspiracy nuts, aren't you?" No, they'll be like, "Oh, really?" It's people are opening up. And the main goal of all of this, and this is why Q, and I'm not saying that I'm like some smart dude. I was just smart enough to see Q and say, wow, I want to know about this, because I have a lot of questions about what's going on in the world. And I've had a lot of questions since I reached consciousness at 3 years old. I was like, what's up, man? This doesn't make sense. It doesn't vibe with me. It doesn't feel right. And then you have Q coming out of nowhere saying, this is all an illusion. A bad illusion to cover up for a criminal enterprise. The Iranians are Zoroastrians, right? Not Muslims. Yeah, But Nancy? Did you expect this to happen? I didn't. I just, it's amazing. They're not Arabic. Yeah, I understand that. But still, we were so captured by the deep state's propaganda machines that we thought, wow, man, this revolution, they kicked out the Shah and the people are on board with this stuff. That's what I thought. They're supporting Hamas. They're supporting Hezbollah. They're terrorizing Israel. I'm not sure about the terrorizing Israel part, but it's deep state, man, against humanity. And we are waking up. So it's just a great time. And at the end of the day, I think Roseanne nailed it. It's a great time to be alive. We are seeing in real time the destruction of this power grid that's been playing with our consciousness. The archons have been, harvesting our loosh for a long time. and now their power is gone. Only the architecture remains. So if you get engaged, if I saw this clip, this woman saying, well, when we're back in power, when the Democrats are back in power, we're gonna arrest Donald J. Trump. Well, you tried that already. You failed, and it's never going to happen. It's over. But they don't know that the people inside the system, they don't know that they're dead yet. They don't know that they're all in Gitmo, that they're all enemy combatants, that the system has collapsed already. Like Roseanne said, we're heading for the promised land. Nothing can stop what's coming. So anyway, we appreciate Daniela is really working hard at LifeWave. She is my my model. Let's see if oh no, we don't want that. We wanted to just share again the contact information. If you call Dr. Stacy, she's the smartest person. In fact, let me play a little clip from Dr. Stacy, and then we'll play a song and call it a night. Let's just play this. Where did that go? There it is. Okay, Dr. Stacy in action.
But we're elevating in the blood. So that means it's going to turn on the body's ability inside to be able to create that fountain of youth as well. So we can see not only, like I said, the resetting or upregulating of over 4,000 genes, we also see things start to happen in the cardiovascular system, the neurological system. We can see the body healing faster. GHK is a powerful peptide to reduce the amount of healing after, say, an accident or an injury, like a break or a surgery. Our surgeons report 40 to 50% reduction in the healing time from a surgery. But we're elevating in the blood. So that means it's...
Okay, so just to... I love Dr. Stacy, and she's really, out of, I was in another network marketing thing, and I was very happy, but it just fell apart naturally. And that's the way. You don't have to push anything. The Republic is going to be, if the Republic is real, which I think it is, it's just going to happen. And so there's no reason to wait on it or try to figure out what's the best way to do this. Just do it. So I'll be coming on later this week with members of the Republic, and we'll just start talking about it and doing it. Just same with anything that you do. Just be like General Patton, man. Just it doesn't have to be done perfectly. Will LifeWave help me? Absolutely. I mean, we're not allowed to guarantee it, but it's the kind of thing. Daniela is speaking better now. She's making videos. She was afraid to talk even to me when we first met.
I'm still in.
What?
Because I don't have that glutathione.
Okay, she has a lot of different things that she has to do to help us out. But yeah, the things that the regular medical community doesn't deal with. Taylor was the daughter of Dr. Stacy. That's how Dr. Stacy got into it. She had a special needs child who could not be helped. All the doctors, they tried everything and nothing helped. She got the patches. And little Taylor, or Big Taylor was a real woman at the time. Taylor started speaking, started communicating from taking the LifeWave patches. So that's why Dr. Stacy got into this. And I can't guarantee. I can't say, oh yeah, it'll definitely help. But and you have to be persistent. Like for me, it took really 3 years. I've been patching for 3 years, and suddenly I realized, well, wait a minute. I'm not taking naps anymore. I'm working nonstop outside. My hair doesn't seem to get gray. I mean, I don't know. I'm thick-headed because I'm a victim of the scientific method. I grew up with, thinking that Louis Pasteur was the greatest person that ever lived, because whatever. And because my father was hard of hearing, and my father believed that the antibiotics really helped him, which may have been the case, may not have been the case. I don't know. Staying calm in the sky, looking like a checkerboard. Yeah, it's very hard. I agree, Chris. It's very hard. We just have to know that the deep state still has some lever, some control. I know it drives me nuts. But I mean, the only thing I can say for up here, because we see all this, all the chemtrails, they're not in our face as much as they used to be. It's better than it was. My advice to you is to make videos and post them on X. Whenever you see chemtrails, outrageous chemtrails, just post them, because they watch these videos, and the creepazoid, parasite, satanic evil that is commandeering these. I mean, there's some people that believe it's the good guys. I'm with you, Chris. It drives me nuts. And Daniela finds me outside giving the finger to some airplane at 30,000 feet, and she's like, "Ellie, just stop."
Because the grass is growing, so why would the bad guys?
Because
do
what?
it? The grass is growing, so it's not
Right, because the grass is growing up here. We're getting a lot of greenery here that we didn't have before. So she believes that the good guys are putting out. And Ricardo Bassi also believes that the good guys are up in the sky. It could be, if you looked at the last post that I just read, it could very well be that the good guys are allowing this to happen, or they're putting out chemtrails that are harmless in order to wake people up. Just like they're focusing on Minnesota, they're focusing on Venezuela, but behind the scenes, they're cleaning it all up. Is Greenland in play? Is it a question? It's like, is Greenland going to be part of the United States? 100%. Is the IRS going to be down forever? It already is. So that's why I'm saying it's all an inside job. It's all a matter of us coming to understand that we are in control. We are the ones that create reality. So the archons wanted us to be in fear and miserable and slaves, and they torture us with economics and with this and that, with healings that don't work and all this other stuff. But we're past it. We already know enough now. The Great Awakening is not coming. The Great Awakening has already happened, at least for us on this channel. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Thanks, Rocco. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, we got this, man. Rocco. Yeah, I mean, and talk to Dr. Stacy. Call Dr. Stacy and say, what do you recommend for brain injury? I mean, my parents think that that's what happened to me because I fell on the ice. I used to play hockey, on pond hockey, back in New York, and I fell a couple times on my head. My mom's like, maybe that's what happened to you. I don't know, but the patches are amazing for me. I mean, they change everything. So yeah. So thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in, and let's just watch this song. And I think this song says it all. The only line in the song that I'm not crazy about is, I don't want no gassy cars. What I meant by that was, we need hydrogen powered cars. We need fusion powered cars. They have the technology. I know Trump is very pro gasoline, and I am too, man. I love my truck, but wouldn't it be great for me to fly into Kingman on my truck? I think that technology exists, and that's part of GESARA releasing all this. You love the about fruit trees, keep them well watered. They will feed you. I think so. Yeah. I mean, I don't think, according to Doug, he said, put them in the ground, water them once, and then water them the next day and wait for spring. But yeah, fruit trees, 100%. I got 8 fruit trees now. But understanding that I could get nut trees, we could I have 170 acres. I'm just learning how to do this, and my land is not like anybody else's land. It's bony, man, and there are no flat spaces. So that may end up being a great advantage up here. It may be just perfect for lots and lots of trees. Like Doug says, that the cherry trees need a lot of protection from the hot sun in the summer. So I've positioned it in my greenhouse against the western wall, so that the west sun doesn't affect the cherry. But it could be because I have all different pitches and slopes, and I have north face, south face, east face, west face. It may turn out that like the eastern, that the part of my land that doesn't get the strong western sun in the afternoon, I may have 100 fruit trees and make a nice living. Who knows? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, just say yes. Just don't even think about thinking about anything. Just say yes. Yes. Does this sound outlandish? It doesn't matter. Just do it. Do like what General Patton says. Better to just do it half-ass than not to do it at all and miss the opportunity. TBI more common than you think. I don't know what TBI is. I love that you brought. Yeah, thank you, Dove Lloyd. Staying calm, looking at the sky. Yeah, it's very hard, Chris. I'm with you, man. I don't take that. Yoroko, man, God bless you. Should have a complete recovery. It should work miracles for you. It very well could. I mean, we're supposedly not allowed to say that. I don't know who's going to stop me. YouTube. Well, YouTube. Whatever. Okay, so let's play the tune, man. But we got this. Listen to what Roseanne said. It's all good, man. Don't worry. We got this. But I like what General Patton said. It's better to do it. Just do it, even if it's not perfect, than to wait for the right time. I think so. All right, let's do this.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Moved into paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if the RV comes, I'll be delighted, but we do not need to wait for anyone. And Crystal, start going on Zillow. I mean, that's what I did. I was looking for a house in Arizona that I could afford, and I saw, that's what I'm talking about with General Patton. It's like it manifestation. I was just out there on Zillow every day. I was like, well, geez, that house is really shitty, man. I don't want to live in a place like that. It's 300,000. I mean, I don't want it. And then I saw a property, 170 acres for 120 grand. I'm like, let's do it. Like, if I thought about it, if I thought, yes, I did think about it. And I called the guy up after paying $1,000 down payment, my rent money on this property. I called him back and I said, I made a mistake. I didn't really think it through. He's like, no, you're good, man. Your instincts are good. Just go with it. And thank God I did. Just don't worry so much about it's perfect. Can you afford it? And this and that. Just go for it. Like with the windows on this house. Thank you for saying it's a beautiful house. It's beautiful to me. It's because it's the house I really want to live in. But I called the window people. I said, how much for windows? 30 grand for windows. Not even nice. And I got the windows for $25, $50. I got big pieces of glass from sliding glass doors that nobody wanted. They were going to throw it away. And I said, I'll buy it. I mean, don't rely on the old world thinking. Don't rely on the matrix. You don't have to think like the matrix. Even this thing about the RV is very matrix, because it's like, oh yeah, everything's going to be okay. Yeah, everything's going to be okay, but it's going to be okay because you decide it's okay, not because somebody comes and hands you $1 million. It's because because somebody can hand you $1 million and you still won't know what to do with it, because you'll be like, what should I do? I can't do this. I can't do that. You won't have the proper. But if you're in your flow, and if you understand how beautiful you are, how unique you are, how crazy you are, and that's a good thing. Thank God you're crazy. May the force be with you. May you realize you are the force. You are the force. It's all up to you, man. Join the Republic. Look on Zillow. If you want to live in the mountains, go live in the mountains. Don't wait. Don't wait for the right time. Don't wait. Oh, I can't really afford it. I have to retire for whatever. I'm lucky because I got in the flow and I lost my job. I had no money. It's like, now I look at it as good luck, because I was able to manifest all this stuff, fruit trees and all, without being a millionaire, without winning my lawsuit against the Department of Education, New York City. You are source. You are the creative power. The archons just led us into fear and worry and doubt. We are now in the sunshine. I mean, up in Arizona, today was so beautiful. It was like Daniela's like, I can't stay inside. I have to go outside. I'm like, yeah, baby, we got to stay outside. The sun is shining in January. It's 70 degrees out. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face. Thank everyone for coming. Thank you for supporting us with LifeWave. Thanks for all you do. That just know that you are the one. My hair was rainbow this morning. Nice. I watch yeah. It's not that I don't believe. I don't believe in the RV. I don't believe in the EBS either. I don't believe in it. It's just not the way. It's not the way I think it's going to go down. And if it does, it does. I'll be happy. But I don't think so. It's all about humanity changing, understanding how powerful they are. That's in my opinion. Thanks to Fruit Trees. Yeah, proud of you. Thanks so much, Beth. I don't know if you're related to Levi, but Levi really saved my career back in the day. So anyway, everyone get out there with a big smile on your face. It's great stuff, man. Listen to Roseanne and rock the world.